Hello, and welcome to Salesforce Release Readiness Live. We're here to talk about all of the latest and greatest features in the Service Cloud for Summer 17. And before we get started, I'm just going to cover one last thing, which is our forward-looking statement. Because we're lucky to be joined by a panel of product managers, we might be discussing some future technologies, some roadmaps, some exciting features that are coming, which means that it's important that Salesforce customers make all of your purchasing decisions based on currently available technologies. So that's our forward-looking statement. And without any further ado, I'd love to introduce our panel of product managers.
I'm Purvi Srivastav. I'm a product manager for the Omni-Channel team here in Service Cloud. I am also excited to bring Omni to Lightning with this release and can't wait to talk more about it. So the two highlights for the release are Lightning, and then secondly, opening up the partner system with external routing option. So I'm going to talk a little bit about both those options before we go into a real quick demo, because we want to make sure our debut participant here gets some time. So with Omni-Channel, we are bringing the whole routing capability to Lightning with summer release. It's open beta, so there is no perm required. You will get it with the summer release. When I say Omni, people often get confused. They are like, oh, so maybe this is a retail strategy for a big conglomerate. And it's not, honestly. It's a routing engine. It's an intelligent routing engine. And there are three parts to it. The first part is routing, which is how to map right work to the right agent at the right time. The second part is presence, and how you capture your agent's presence, whether it be online, whether on a break, whether reflected to a particular channel. And then final part is the Omni Supervisor Console, which is how you manage the real-time operational insights from a manager's point of view. And we are bringing the first two parts, routing and presence, to Lightning. So you would be able to push work as long as that object or that channel is queuable and it is in Lightning. For example, cases and leads would work. Some of the other channels, real-time channels like live agent chat or live message, would be coming in with our later release. The chat product would be live. I'm going to show you a sneak peek. It's pretty in winter, safe harbor, and then live message in spring next year. So it's an exciting feature. You should turn it on in your orgs. I mean, there's nothing to turn on, but use it in your orgs. Give us the feedback. We want to know how else can we improve the experience. So that was Lightning. Super excited. But the goodness doesn't end there. We want to also make sure that we give our customers the option or the choice to identify what routing mechanism fits better for them. So with external routing solution, we are actually disintegrating the routing decision from the routing execution. So you decide as a customer if you want to route all your channels through Omni, or you want to route some of the channels through Omni and some through a third party or external partner, or route everything to the external partner and have the decision getting executed by Omni-Channel. So that is what we've done. We've opened up our system with a set of APIs, and we've integrated with most of our connected partners to bring this to market.
And Purvi, I know you've been working one-on-one with some of these partners. So this is a shout out for any of our CTI partners and vendors who are listening in today. This news should be very exciting for you. We've been working with a few already, but check out these APIs that Purvi is referring to, because you want to know about the new routing options that are available.
Right. Yeah, that's a perfect thing for you to do. And I was at a partner reception, I think a couple of weeks ago. There's so much excitement in the community. So if you want to talk more, definitely reach out to me or the community, and we'll be happy to help you. I do want to go into a little bit of detail of how this would work. So with external routing, you have to do two things, kind of a pre-work. You have to get the perm enabled in your org, and any of the support team members can do that. The second thing is you would have to set up a queue with the routing type, which is external, in order to route that work through Omni. And the final thing is you would create a push topic with our streaming APIs, which are publicly available. Now, they would also have the Omni entities like user service presence, the way we manage availability, and pending service request, which is our internal entity for queuing of work. So both of those entities are now available for streaming APIs. Create a push topic with a SOQL query, not going very technically into details, but that's all the setup that you would need. And once that happens, any work that is pushed inside Salesforce would automatically trigger a notification in the partner system, and then they can take a routing decision based on the capacity and availability and route it through Omni. So easy peasy, easy to set up. Check it out in your orgs. Talk to me or talk to one of our support personnel, and we should be able to get it done. And with that, I would want to move into a really quick demo. So what you see on my screen right now is the awesome console that Gautam and Devra talked about. And I'm going to show you how to push work to your agents in Lightning so that they don't end up cherry picking, because who wants that, honestly? So I'm going to go here and change the status of my presence to online, which just means I can take up cases. Those are the new sounds, by the way. We also improved that. Yeah. So what I'm going to do is, with this particular case, I don't think I'm equipped to work on it. So I'm going to provide a decline reason. And all this is, again, configurable through your Omni setup, and submit it. Once I do that, I've also configured it in a way that my status would be set to away. And this is, again, configurable, so you can do that in your presence status options. But I'm going to accept this one camping spot case, because who doesn't love camping, right? And once I do that, you can see that my console view changes 360 degree. I can see images, I can see header components, I can see everything that is needed as an agent to resolve that case. And that is bringing the power of console, the power of productivity tools, and the power of push to Lightning service. So that was Omni-Channel for you. We are bringing more with our roadmap. So I want to go back to slides here and share a little bit about what's in store. So we are very, very excited to bring Live Agent to Lightning with our next release in October. The UI is going to blow your minds away. It's been an emotional journey, and I think all of you would agree. We started Lightning a couple of years ago, and starting from the inception with our design teams to our engineering teams, the PM teams, everybody has invested so much in bringing this to market that we feel this is the right thing for the customers to do, going beyond what the industry is offering today and going much beyond what the vision can be with any other place. So with Live Agent, it will be available in Lightning starting winter. And then Omni Supervisor, the APIs enhancements are going to come. So winter is going to be a jam-packed Lightning release for Omni-Channel and Live Agent. Moving beyond, the one thing that I want to highlight is skills-based routing, because every conversation that I am in, I've been asked, when is skills coming to Omni? So do not worry about it. We listen to the feedback very carefully. We're going to bring them to market pretty soon, sometime next year, and then continue to invest on those channels going forward. And I think I'm ready for some questions if we have, before passing it to Nathan. Or
well, I'm sure that we have questions, because that was a great demo and a very exciting roadmap with bringing Omni to Lightning. So I'm sure that we have questions from our Service Cloud community. Elna?
Boy, I tell you, the Service Cloud features just keep coming. This is the third, it's going to be now the third release in a row where it's just huge amounts of just amazing progress in Lightning. So kudos to you all. And there's a question from Sophie about Omni. So she wants to know, does Omni Supervisor come with Omni-Channel in this beta version?
So Omni Supervisor is not going to be available on Lightning with the beta version in summer. However, it is going to be available with winter release under Safe Harbor.
Right. I'm excited about Live Agent as well.
Live Agent is going to blow your minds away.
Can't wait.
Guarantee that.
I bet we're going to hear about it at Dreamforce.
It'll be used at Dreamforce.
So what about, so the external routing feature you were talking about, is there any documentation on that? How can people learn about that?
Yeah, so there is documentation. What I would suggest is raise a support request, and they would be able to enable it in your org, as well as provide your technical documentation. If you want to move beyond that, there's always, I would be happy to help. I'm the point of contact for external routing, so I would be happy to get into a discussion and explain how this will be implemented in real time. So.
Great. And how will capacity and presence be managed in that external routing feature?
Yeah, so it's a bit of a trick situation. The general recommendation is partners should, if they're routing everything through the partner ecosystem, they should manage capacity, because right now we do not have a way to calculate capacity on our side with external integrations. Moving forward, that would change. Availability, however, should be managed through Omni, and we have good console APIs to sync presence statuses.
All right, thank you. And two more questions, very quickly. So another potential hypothetical scenario, what if there's a failure in routing, and is it possible to resend a work item if it doesn't go through?
Yeah, so what happens with streaming APIs is you can replay your events up to 24 hours. So if you have a failure and you are tracking the ID or the PSR ID, you would be able to replay it in the partner ecosystem.
Perfect. Now, you mentioned some things coming in on the roadmap. So what about specifically the setup for Omni-Channel? When is that coming to Lightning?
Now, I want to give a shout out to our setup team here, the Lightning setup team. They're doing really amazing work with not only Omni-Channel, with cases, with CTI, with knowledge. And they are making setup very easy. So sometime around mid next year is when we'll see Omni and Live Agent both go live on Lightning setup.
Actually, I'll make a quick shout out to the setup team as well. For the folks who are listening in today, definitely check out this service setup experience. This is something that has a focus particularly for service admins, and it has these things called Lightning setup flows. Our portfolio of Lightning setup flows has now grown to 6, so these help you set up, say, email to case, or set up social or Facebook, Twitter channels, for example. And the goodness about these setup flows is that they're handheld, very prescriptive experiences. They're 4 or 5 steps. But the best part for any admin on this webinar today, the flows are what we call closed loop. So the flows will actually test your setup. Like for the email to case flow, we actually send an email to your address, make sure a case is created from it. So an admin is going to step out of that experience with a high degree of confidence that everything is working as expected. So for those of you who don't use a Facebook channel but might be curious, the Lightning setup flow is a great tool to get started.
Yes. Got it. And there is a question from Kimberly. Does the Gantt chart integrate with Salesforce calendar events in some way?
That I don't know.
So
Anybody on the panel?
unfortunately not at the moment.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, but certainly in our journey to Lightning, I think this is going to be a key area because the Lightning calendar is going to be that one-stop shop for all calendars for a Salesforce user, in the sense that it can look at your Outlook calendar, it can look at your Gmail calendar, and it's certainly going to be something that can look at your field service schedule.
Okay, I've got another one for an Omni question from, I'm going to call you Shar because I can't pronounce your whole name. What about role hierarchy support for Omni Supervisor?
That's a good question. So we are working on that feature for our winter release under Safe Harbor for October. And you would be able to see some visibility options coming out in winter. If not winter, definitely spring.